Hey CSU, I'm Sam Magnotto, missionary here serving with St. Paul's Outreach. And right now I'm going to be talking to you guys a little bit about commitment because we've got small groups coming up, and a very important part of small groups is, in fact, commitment. I'm going to dive into that a little bit and then kind of go into why commitment in general. So why commitment for small groups? I'm sure you all want to have a good small group. That's why you're here. Nobody really goes into a small group thinking, oh, yes, I just want to have a bad small group. None of you are here for that. But there's different levels that kind of lead to a good small group. And at the base of this is commitment, because from commitment you can gain trust with people, you can kind of gain an openness from there, and then you get an overall pretty sweet small group. And that all falls apart if you don't have the firm foundation of commitment. So, like, to kind of get just a general definition, I don't know if this is the official definition of commitment, but it's one that I have found very useful, that as I have been trying to figure out how to commit to things better in my life, at least, it means that you're sacrificing some of your own time and your own desires for some other cause that is greater than what you want to do for yourself. And like in this instance, it's a small group, and this is not an easy thing. This isn't a comfortable thing, but it's a really good thing that is going to yield a lot of fruit for anybody who is willing to make that sacrifice. So, yeah, what does it mean to commit? Now, that's a good question, especially for a small group. It's not just showing up for it, but that is a really, really important first step, because if you're not showing up to a small group, you're not committing to it, right? Because if you can't be committing to something if you're not there. That's pretty straightforward. But then there's another step to it as well. You got to go a little further. It's not just showing up, it's showing up prepared. Whether that's come prepared with having read some material that you guys will be going over, or whether it's like, hey, just come, like, we have a general topic for tonight, a general theme of things that we want to like share and talk about in a bigger way. If you come like ready to share, that's going to make the group go a lot smoother. And just kind of like some examples of like what commitment versus not commitment looks like. Just imagine you're in a small group of about, say, 5 people. And so there's this not committed small group. So in this one, people are showing up kind of, I mean, maybe 1 or 2 people every week can't make it for some reason or another. So it's just like, oh, like, this is, yeah, we have a small group, but a lot of the time up to half the group isn't there. And that from there, it's just like people are kind of slow to share. It's kind of just seems like the leader's just kind of slogging through, trying to push through all this difficult stuff because there's no commitment to it. And then on the other side, let's say you have this group of people that are all 5 of you are there very routinely. Maybe one of you misses every few weeks. That's fine. But you are committed to being there, and more weeks than not, every single person in this group is there. And from that sprouts just this joy, this good, deep conversation. And so a big part of small groups is sharing. So let's say you are in a small group that it is, a small group in general, and you have something really big on your heart, something you really want to share, something that the Lord has really been moving in your life, something that's been really difficult, whatever that may be. Are you going to want to share that with people that you see once every 2 or 3 weeks, maybe? Or do you want to share that with people who you know are going to be there, who will be there, and then you have this level of trust built up with, because you know they have made this commitment to you, they know that they can trust you and that they're willing to share with you. I would posit that you want to share with the people that are there for you in this simple way, and just in being in the small group with you that are committed to it. So yeah, and then why to commit to this? I mean, as cheesy as this does sound, you are going to get what you put into this. The more that you pour out into this, the more that you will receive from it. The Lord is going to do a great work in these small groups, and by you saying yes to this, by you saying, I'm going to be here every week, I'm going to be prepared, you are going to be incredibly blessed by the Lord in this. But another thing, commitment just isn't for right now. Commitment isn't just like, oh, this is college, yeah, I need to commit. Because you're going to need to commit for your whole life. There are things that no matter what you end up doing with your life, whether you get married, whether you enter some kind of religious life, whatever you do with your life and in work, whatever it is, you are going to need to commit to things. And if you haven't been committing to things your entire life, and all of a sudden you're 30, 35, 40 years old, and you have to have a conversation with somebody about, oh, I can't do that because I don't want to. That's not a good reason. You need to commit to things. You need to be able to say yes to things. And if you're learning to do this now, if you're learning to commit and say yes and really, like, in a way, die to yourself, in a way, die to your own time, to not to not consider these things so much about you but about others, you are going to be a better, stronger person that can do incredible things for the Lord, that can do incredible things in your lives. So by committing, you will be a better person, and I just really, really encourage you guys right now to dive all into these small groups, to make this commitment, to say this yes, and the Lord will bless you in it. Have a great one, brothers and sisters.